the Arsenal Anelka, we don't know what that is. People don't realise. He goes to Real Madrid. The biggest problem he had is not just going, he changed the way he wanted to play. He never actually wanted to run in behind anymore. So
why was that?
That's the question I'd love to ask him, because I look at it and go, that's hard to do physically. Yeah. To keep running in behind is graft. That's Marcus Rashford. That's what I say about him. His best attribute, Marcus, is running off the ball, without the ball, keep running behind. You don't get it 3 times, don't stop, keep going. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because you might get on the 4th or 5th time. But it's hard to do that. Like this is what I'm saying. Marcus, dribbling ain't really his thing. I don't think it's not his super strength. His super strength is actually running onto things.
Yeah.
And making or getting it, running deep, coming short, shifting it, bang.
Saying that, we ain't seen that in years for real. Because if you see the previous years, that's what it was about. What are you saying?
Oh man.
Bun trends.
What's that then? You alright? Get a shirt that fits, man. It looks too big now.
Mate.
Your gear's looking too big. You're a medium now.
What's the goal?
I don't know.
To disappear.
Just doing it.
See how far we can fucking take it, innit?
Just to disappear. He wants to disappear.
Doing a high
Who sung that? Disappear. Because you're invisible.
5 weeks.
Remember that?
Do you know what? Nah,
dancehall. That's dancehall. You ain't ready for dancehall, innit?
Nah, I can't lie. It's too much for me.
This is you. Disappear. Because you're invisible. See what I mean? Oh my God, old school ragga. Boy. Sorry. Well, guys, listen, welcome to this episode of Rare Presents. The band are back together, guys. We're back. From people's demand, public demand. You know what I mean?
Rhea's a madman. He's just going to switch it up next week.
But no, Joel Bear's here. Steve Howson. Where else to start, man, than United? First of all, are you kind of worried that there hasn't been more progress in this short space of time? Not asking to move mountains, but just a little bit of more progress than what we're seeing at the moment.
Wait, let's get a solo on Steve. I've been waiting for this all weekend. Go on.
I don't like your energy.
Go on.
You knew this energy was coming.
Go on.
As soon as that 5th one went in yesterday, you should have just cancelled it.
Solo.
I'm probably surprised there's not been more progress. But we sat here in the summer and I was like, I don't know where we score goals. And I remember saying that. Just not happy with, I think I said it's a forward line that West Ham would have. We've just lost 2 of them. We haven't replaced them. Like, there is just no goals in this United team. Now, I thought we had the ability to keep clean sheets and limit chances. That looks wrong. We're not really limiting people's chances. We actually give people chances. But we just don't create. And that's the annoyance with that is it's how boring we are. There's one thing being boring, and there's being boring and like locking off other teams. You can get away with that because you're like, right, we'll just win 1-0. You don't believe this United team's got a clean sheet in it. And every time Palace attacked yesterday, you felt like they might score, didn't you? Oh. So it's not like a case of like, we're being boring, we're being efficient. No, we're just boring. Like there's no movement ahead, there's no penetration ahead. The players that are, like, I think Ahmad plays well in the 10 or as a right wing back. But I think United suffer when he's in the 10 because we're going to play Dalot, Mazraoui and 3 centre-halves.
So you got no attacking points to get out from the wide areas. And the crazy thing is, I am surprised that I think it's a better choice of word, I'm surprised that we're not doing better than we are right now at this stage with the new manager. And tactically, I just look at it and think, it's so much easier to just be hard to beat. It's organised.
Can you do that because he sort of acknowledged, didn't he, when they beat City in his last couple of games at Sporting, he sort of acknowledged I can't do this when I get to United. So he kind of knew that he was going to have to try and go for it a little bit. And I think in the big games, we've performed better, but we haven't even low blocked and sat back. We've kind of gone toe to toe.
Yeah, I agree.
It's those home games against teams that you think you should beat
the
comfortably.
Fulhams.
Yeah, your Fulhams, your Palace, even Rangers. I couldn't even really celebrate a last-minute winner because you're kind of just annoyed at the way the game's gone. And you think, where's the...
I just think that I think it's easier to shut out a team and then work from there. So I'm do you want to just do that and settle the ship a little bit?
Because you've got good defenders, haven't you?
You've got good defenders if you don't play a high line. If you play a high line, look at Palace. The second goal were a high line, and if they've got runners running anywhere with half decent timing of runs, you get absolutely opened up. So we got players that can, if they want to defend the box or just outside, they're capable of doing that. But to play a high on the front foot type of team, that's why at Old Trafford it's hard for us, because you have to be on the front foot. The fans demand it. We have more of the ball most of the time other than against the big teams. And you're going up, and all of a sudden, when there's big spaces, I've said this, I don't know how long I've said this for, when there's big spaces in this team, we haven't got the players capable of covering the ground or don't have the know-how. So we're going to get hurt like that. So until you get those players in that can nullify that transition threat, I'm looking at it and going, is there a time when he just has to go out? I could put my principles maybe to the side for one month maybe, and just like settle the ship, build some confidence within this group, then to start really forcing and downloading the information into my team to play differently and the way I want them to play.
But this is what I'm saying. Is it a formation thing? I said earlier, because you're talking about
not
principles.
a formational thing.
Like, because to me, it seems that you lot are suffering. Obviously, Martinez is out now. How long is he out for, by the way?
Could be a long one. They said serious, they said.
It looked rough, that. But Joe, we're in actually a pretty decent position to ride out an injury to that specific position where we weren't last season.
Luke Shaw's fit again.
For how long, though?
I'm just saying it factually. They're saying he's fit. I've seen him in training ground.
Over or under on 3 games before the end of the season. 3 nights.
What'd you say?
Over or under 3 games, 3 nights before the end of the season.
I'm going to confidently go over.
Deluded.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a formation thing. We play the same shape with the ball that we played with Ten Hag.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily a formation thing. It is a personnel thing. And like we brought Dorgu in, we shown him in Heaven Off yesterday. He is not going to transform how United play in the slide. Like, even if he is Roberto Carlos reinvented, it ain't gonna matter. It's really not gonna matter. Like, there's another 3 or 4 players that need to go in it. Like, it is damning that we saw a formation yesterday that had no striker in it.
Yeah.
Now, on one hand, you might go, he knows how this system works. He might know the strengths and weaknesses. Palace play the same system, and he might go, do you know what? Rather than going up against their back line, let's come off it a little bit and try and overload. He might have thought that. Or he might have just thought, Xerxes and Haaland are gash at the moment. Let's just do something else. Because, I asked on Twitter after the game, was it a mistake not going with a striker? And most of the replies was, wouldn't have mattered if we did.
So, but I reckon, though...
The problem has been strikers the last 3 or 4 games. So you've got to have a look at something else, I think.
So after yesterday's result, you think it's fair to say that a Garnacho won't be going anywhere either, because you're already lacking attacking threat. If a guy like that goes, then what you got, bruv?
What threats he got, though?
No, but at least he looks like a problem when you see him. No, but he looks. He can at least create something.
Mark Robbins with an accent. He's just
Mark Robbins with an accent. That's a liberty.
I have to say, right, and especially for us guys,
Mark Robbins with an accent. That's a liberty.
Look at the players we've let go. Look at the players we've had in the last 10 years. From Zlatan, Lukaku, Di Maria, Falcao. Danny bloody Welbeck would still be our best striker.
No, he would.
The problem child, Cristiano.
Yeah.
Cavani. What's he doing right now? Can we not get him in?
Elanga.
He'd still do bits.
Elanga's probably our best winger if he's here now.
Do you know what I mean? This United team it's 13th in the table for a reason.
Solid 13th as well. Like, it's like some weeks is
West Ham, Spurs 12, and Everton win their next game. We are 16th.
I didn't even.
That's fuck.
But just going back to the point about the manager, and he's lost 8 games now in 19 games. Like, it's a big in the L column. It's a lot of games. A
lot of reds.
It's a big number. Yeah. I'm looking at other managers that have come in and like they've either changed the style or made an immediate impact. Like De Zerbi, Nuno at Forest, Potter at Brighton, Moyes at Everton, Unai Emery at Villa, Mourinho at Chelsea. If you take it back,
Gerrard, though, didn't he? So that was basically just
I knew you'd say that. But when you look at that, like, why have they been able to have immediate impact?
In my opinion, the reason all of those teams came in and had an immediate impact was because the manager that was there before was underperforming with the team that he had. I don't necessarily think Ten Hag was underperforming with the team that he had. I think this is the level of that team.
I disagree, Steve, because if you look at De Zerbi at Brighton, who was before him? Was it Potter? He was performing. And before Potter, what was it, Chris Hughton? Yeah. That's not the
what was his uptick?
Truth.
How impactful was his uptick?
But this is what
And
I'm saying.
again,
You're
it's on the
saying
recruitment.
no, but
They've got good players in good positions.
But you've just said that it's because the manager before wasn't optimising. I think Brighton are elusive.
Maybe they're the outlier then.
Yeah.
But like Aston Villa under Steven Gerrard, you went through that 11 and you
that
go
I agree.
Watkins
That I agree.
and Bailey and all of these players. These
Yeah.
are good players. They shouldn't be where they are.
I
Now,
agree.
I didn't necessarily think they were Champions League.
Forest,
I
would you
agree.
say that?
No, I think he's outperformed with them.
And I think if you look at
I think
Everton,
Bournemouth this season probably outperformed as well. They've been doing an absolute madness.
so you look at a lot of those clubs and they were where they were. I think for Man United, I think the club's broken in many ways that we will never understand anyway. But I also think it's the size of the club, man. I think it's something when people walk through those doors.
You says it all the time,
And
innit? You don't understand
Like the
what it's
size, I'm looking, thinking, why is it that an Anthony can go over there and do well, McTominay or any of the Jadon Sancho? Like, what is it about these players that come in and when they go, they do better? I think Man United's just so big. We will never understand the media. I've never seen a team covered so much being 13th ever. Like the media. The size of the analysis, everything after every game. We've just beaten Arsenal 5-1, but Man City 5-1. But I'm still thinking, what's happened to United?
That's why it's such a big thing in your career to get to somewhere like Man United. But the biggest thing is to be able to stay there and to play well. But the environment isn't allowing that for a lot of these players, which is different to our generation. I went into a good, thriving, winning environment. I was very lucky to do that. But then you got to buckle up and get on the train with them guys. But
what do you see when you go in there now? Because you've had the chance to be on both sides of the fence. Like when you go in there, last time you went in there, by the way, you did the golf buggy thing with Dallo, and you said you could feel there was a difference.
Yeah, I did. It fooled me, if I'm honest. Rude was there. The positivity around the place was... I hadn't seen it like that for a long time. And to be fair, at the start of the season, I watched United a couple of times, Brighton away and a couple of other games, and I thought, yeah, I'm seeing something. I really did early in the season.
I could feel it.
Yeah.
We got to watch the open training sessions in LA.
Yeah.
And you could see like Rude's got a presence on him, hasn't he? And there was something in those training sessions there where it did feel like there was some of the training sessions that I saw in Australia a couple of years before or America the year before where you see United doing a rondos and they're garbage, aren't they? Like for Manchester United, you think they should be like so razor
25
sharp.
passes.
Yeah, like I should be standing here with my head in my hands going,
How have you done that? Yeah.
But I don't. I watch it and go,
But you know why that is? Because
Rude's so handsome.
No. It was because confidence is a huge player in this whole situation, and so that confidence was almost just starting to be built a little bit, but it was in its such infancy that any little kind of jab to that, it was going to fall back down through the floor again. And I think that's what happened, and I think that's where it is now, and I think that's why I'll say maybe it might be time for the manager to look at his and address his tactics and go, let me just put a more less complicated approach to this and kind of get the troops back in, make us hard to beat again, rebuild confidence. Because confidence, I don't care how good a player you are, without confidence, you are a minus.
What do you think we're doing that looks complicated though? Because I don't see anything doing that.
I don't know. I feel like I'm scratching. I'm making excuses here. Maybe it feels like, but I just feel. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like I look at it like this. When I was a player, and I was known as being good on the ball, yeah, and I could pass it over various distances, and I'd do it. I wouldn't be bothered. I wouldn't even think about it, right? But the moment, a couple of bad results. Personally, didn't play well in the last game, and it's not been going well in training for a week or so behind the scenes. The ball from me to Gary Neville, which is 10 yards, was the easiest pass. I could do it with my eyes closed all through the game, any time of the week. But then when that confidence has gone and dropped a little bit,
you start thinking about the step up.
I start thinking about my approach to the ball, the weight of the pass. If I play it for him to run onto it, I could kick it out of play. You start questioning everything, and it's like, fucking hell, I'm meant to be a top player. So when everyone's feeling like that, by the way, I was being carried then in them moments by 8 or 9, 8 out of 10s to get me through those periods. These players ain't got that because the one who's negative and being pessimistic on the ball, lacking confidence, he's passing to someone who's thinking, I hope my touch is right, please God, let me control this ball. And then that is whipping it on through the team. And so it's almost like a never-ending cycle of negativity. How are they going to get out of that? So stop those risks, stop those chances, bring it all tighter and together and say, right, we're going to rebuild now. And then when we get confidence, we can then start elaborating and becoming a bit more of an
What if
expansive
we've done
team.
that though? And that's why we're so boring. And because we're not playing with the flair. Like, was it the other night? Who were we playing? After we got a couple of goals up, we went one touch. I went, oh.
Who, Rangers?
Might have been. We started going one touch in the final third and I was like, that looks a little bit spicy. And actually, we even started the Palace game where we looked like a little
chances,
bit.
a little bit.
And they're like, oh, there's a bit of rotation here. There's a little bit of flair in the final third. But then, whatever happens, either opposition go, oh, yeah, he's running off him. I'll go him, sorry. And then just lock us down because we ain't got anything.
Yeah, I think you lot are in confidence is on the floor. And you just said, is it time to switch it up a little bit? Do the players know their positions? Like, do they know what is expected of them?
I don't think they're doing anything complicated. I really don't.
Do they? Because Declan Rice yesterday said one thing that was key. When he was being interviewed, he goes, yep, I knew my position. I knew what my outlayers were. And he was very clear on the messaging. What's his name? Liverpool manager. He said it earlier on when they beat you guys. He had the messaging was clear to his players. Do your players understand the messaging from Amorim?
But we had Jorginho on and Kingsley Coman on previous shows. If you've not seen them interviews, go on the and check it out on YouTube. But
not just YouTube, on audio as well, across the board.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But they gave some really, really good insight into the way that Thomas Tuchel, his approach when he came in, very clear, not loads of information, and easy to digest. Like when you can download the information immediately, that makes it so easy. The moment you're really second guessing and thinking about my distances, positions, when I should go, passing, detail, etc. Now listen, these things should all be like a normal thing for these players because they're given so much information from young youth academy upwards. So they should be able to take it on. But like I said, when the confidence is this low, you've got to really simplify things and go right back to basics. 2 or 3 different bits of information, that take that and that's it. And until the confidence is back, then I can give you a bit more. But I don't know. Again, we need the insight as to from players. Is he giving you too much?
Rio, you've got them digits.
Yeah, but you're not getting the answers, man. Like, I speak to some of the players, and it's like, listen, there's a trust with me and the players and what we talk about and what we say. So I can't give everything that we speak about, but it's like, and sometimes I don't want to put them in a position where I'm asked, they'll dig in too much.
Yeah, is it real with a mic?
Yeah, exactly. So I want to maintain them relationships that I have with those guys, yeah. But at the same time, it's like, are the players demanding off each other? Is there, say for instance, all the centre-halves are sitting there and they're going like, has Martinez gone to Harry Maguire or vice versa, etc., and gone, listen, these are the couple of things I do not like what you do in the game. You need to stop. Otherwise, we're going to fall out.
Did you do that?
Yeah, this is part of parcel of playing football. You've got to communicate. You've got to go, I don't like this.
What with Vida?
What you do.
What did you say to Vida?
Vida, if the centre forward's on your side and he's going a little bit deep and like 5 yards into their space, you have to go in if the ball's on that side of the pitch. Why are you standing off? I'm going to cover you. Don't do that no more. And he'd say the same thing to me about something else, whatever. But it's a conversation and you've got to be able to say it and he's got to be able to receive it. Because if he can't, or I can't, we don't improve. And that's what it's about. It's like I look at Bruno and I've been one of Bruno's biggest like advocates because I think he's had a lot of unfair press, right? For whatever reasons. But at the same time, I watched him the other day against Rangers. I think he gave away 2 or 3 balls on the bounce when we got the ball in good possession. Give the ball away, right, they've got possession again. I didn't even look at Bruno. I'm looking at the other teammates and going, where is the guy screaming at him and telling him, keep the fucking ball?
Can anyone?
That's my point. That's the point. Why shouldn't you be able to?
Yeah.
Keep the ball. Because the guys who shouting it are saying it for one reason. I've got to run more now. I've got to cover more ground. When am I going to get my breather?
But you had an array of players, innit? Geeks.
But leaders as well.
Like leaders. That's what I'm saying. Like you could all talk.
But the point is they're great players, but all humble enough to be able to take on getting a verbal from someone. I always say this about me and Wazza. I probably argued with Wayne more than anybody. Keep the fucking ball. The ball's come up to him, he wants to get it and flick it and then play a 30-yarder out and goes out. Don't go out and turn the ball over. Wayne, keep the fucking ball! Then he'd shout at me, you do your job. Or if I'd done something we weren't pushed up enough, Rio, squeeze, and I'd go, fuck up. But that is like, I'm not saying the players don't care, but it's like you show, right, we're on the edge. we're on the edge, get into the change room after the game and we're laughing about it. Can those fiery engagements happen without it being a problem and an issue in the change room after that? That's my point.
All it is a standard. And you know what the standard is. And I imagine if you sat down with every single one of those players in a calm environment and you'd be like, you understand that isn't good. They'd be like, oh yeah, it's got to be better than that.
Yeah.
Obviously, the way that sometimes that's received, you obviously have the relationship with Rooney that you can scream at him and he's not going to like completely spit his dummy out and be like, I can't play with Rio anymore.
I reckon when City are winning everything, there's arguments in that changing room.
100.
We've seen it on the documentaries. Do you know what I mean? When Liverpool with Klopp, I'm sure there's arguments in there. Do you think Virgil's not pulling people up? You think Milner's and Henderson's not going for people in that change room? It can happen, but you've got to create the environment from within that allows it. Like, if someone's shouting at, or Bruno's shouting at someone, there shouldn't be a cluster of players going behind closed doors, he's bang out of order. Fucking what an idiot.
Didn't you always say that the gaffer never got involved in any of that? Just left you lot to police the standards? And again, that should be the thing, shouldn't it? Yeah,
it should. But again, it's like our generation, it's different, man. It was a different culture then. It had been built over many years and it was success-driven. There was so many positives alongside it that it's I'm not saying that or compare it to us, but it's like, where does that start then to get to that again? Do you know what I mean? There's got to be...
Come out of your generation, do you think Zlatan wasn't doing that at United?
Yeah, exactly. See, yeah.
Do you know, or some of the other...
They won Europa.
Do you think Schweinsteiger wasn't doing that when he was at United? So the right players are still going to be doing it. Is there enough of them in the changing room now?
And that's where it comes back to recruitment. That's why, and get the clip, please, where I'm saying, buy Harry Kane, buy Declan Rice. Because them guys will be the drivers of your new culture. Because Harry Kane ain't a shouter and a baller that we're talking about. Yeah, and he's captain for one reason, because he's got standards. His standards are up here. Talk to anybody about his drills in training, his shooting, his application, his desire for perfection. That reverberates around the training ground. You have to get to this level every day. Declan Rice is more of a cajoler. He's one who will get around people and bring people together, point the finger at times when need be. Like, all the excuses as to not take those two players, I don't know where the hell or who said, you're right. Fucking take them. That's what should have happened. Those two would have been big drivers, man, for this next generation of players at Man United to lead.
I think some of the signings we've recently done, I think De Ligt and Mazraoui are the right stuff. You've not got enough of them.
I think it's not just about the right personnel though. It's also about
you mentioned that.
It's also about ability as well. Though.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say. You can't put that alongside Declan Rice and Harry Kane, because the ability difference between those two players you mentioned, no disrespect, but Mazraoui,
he's still finding his feet.
He couldn't get in the Bayern Munich team.
Yeah.
De Ligt couldn't get in the Bayern Munich team.
I think the reasons he left the Bayern Munich team were more political.
No, but he couldn't get in the Bayern Munich team, nor could De Ligt, and he couldn't get in the Juventus team either. Like, so it's not we're talking about players who are like, these two players, Declan Rice and Harry Kane, walk into most teams
in the world.
Do you know what I mean? But I get what you're saying. They're the right humans. Definitely. And I've been saying this for a while. I 100% agree with that point. Buy the right humans before ability at this point for Man United. People that are going to be able to go in there and bring people together and show a standard and just raise the bar. Just keep raising the bar.
It's so hard though, because you've got to get that balance right. Otherwise you've got the right human in Zertsky who really wants to work hard and, you know, he's going to do his best, but then the ability has to match it as well. But sticking with Manchester United, you spoke about this in your recent Rio Reacts. Marcus Rashford to Aston Villa. Mm-hmm. Now, if you can give us a little summary of what your thoughts are. You know what we said in the group chat. I said that I think if he goes there with the right attitude, could work out.
There's if, buts and maybes all around this, isn't there? Firstly, I want Marcus to go and do well. I'm interested to hear what Steve's
I know Steve's making a facial expressions for our audio listeners at the moment.
Yeah, I want him to do really well. But it's will he, won't he? It's like, but it's. I think there's a couple of things that need to click for it to work. First and foremost, he needs to go in there and be very. Well, I see his statement. His statement was very much like, I'm going to be like a real inclusive part of this squad now. I'm going to really roll my sleeves up. Basically, that's the vibe I was getting through the statement. But that's obviously got to play out. We've seen a lot of words from a lot of players when they go to arrive at clubs. So he's got to go and immerse himself in that environment. the way they play will suit him, I think. If it's the Marcus goes back to the Marcus that we know, running in behind, being a threat off the ball, more than wanting it to feet all the time. But also that environment needs to be a strong environment to kind of, for him to come in and grab onto as well and take him along and drag him along. But one of the most important things, I think, is the manager. We've heard so many players, Ollie Watkins, for example, say, this guy's coached me. He's coached me to become a better player. He sets us up for me to be the best version of myself. And I hope he can do that for Marcus. But I think all those things need to marry up for him to do well there.
It's not going to be easy as well because you've got Jacob Ramsey there as well. So
you've got to get in the team first.
You've got to get in the team.
Yeah.
Steve, you're making faces.
I mean, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. And I think there's quite a few angles on this with Rashford at the moment.
What are the angles?
On one angle, I'm seeing people saying that United have let him down. He's been, whatever discipline issues there's rumoured to be, he's been completely launched out of the squad when United have been desperate for goals. He's not had a send-off. Someone's been here 20 years. And I think there's some validity to that. It feels like they forced him out, probably for PSR reasons. I'd have so much more respect for the club if they came out and said that. Yeah, listen, we didn't want to do that, but PSR situation being what it is, he's an asset we had to sell later. I'd have so much respect because I think people are in the dark a little bit on United's true situation with PSR. I think we're right in the shit.
Up, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're properly in the shit with it. So I think that I'd have a lot more respect for the club if they came out and said, listen, yeah, obviously that's the situation and he's had to go because of that. Or that's a factor, because it's not the only reason. His form is a massive reason. If he goes and rediscovers his form at Villa, why couldn't he do that at a club he supposedly loves? Why is he not? If he goes and he starts digging in and working and doing extras, where have they been the last 18 months? You know what I mean? Like, we've seen Marcus Rashford go from that season that he had to a very, very poor season last season. And I thought there was an uptick in his performance and application this season. Obviously, there was some altercations that have left him out of the squad. There's there's a lot of rumours about all sorts of different stuff off the field. I don't think Aston Villa is far enough away from Manchester for it to be meaningful, to have an impact on his career. I think he's going to live at home, and I think he's going to get on the M6 every morning and he's going to drive to training. And I don't think that is enough of an environment switch to see any sort of meaningful change in him as a player.
But it's the media though, Steve. Like, I think the biggest thing that he suffers from is when you're in and around Manchester, which you're right, which is where he frequents, but the media when you are at Manchester United is different from any other media in the country.
I get that, but at the end of the day, you can still shut it out and just go. You can go to the gym, you can go and do your extras. He wasn't doing that. So I feel like if he knuckles down...
We've seen videos though.
Oh yeah, you've seen one or two.
Have we not? Have we
But
not
yeah, you've seen
videos?
one or two, but you've not seen it daily. He's not been in the team. He's barely been at training, supposedly, looking at the photos and stuff. Why have we not just been absolutely bombarded? This is a guy that's got a PR team and a media team around him. Why have they not been pushing the narrative that actually this guy's in a Rocky montage at the moment, doing bits?
Alanga style.
Yeah. You've seen them. We've seen them from Marcus. There's one of him running on a treadmill about 4 or 5 years ago, absolutely tearing it up. Why have we not seen those? When he went to Nike and did bits at Nike, why have we not seen those? We know he's capable of not just doing those, but filming those.
What do you think about the manager talking about a lack of effort and stuff? Someone who supported the club and it's homegrown talent. Because I said that.
I think it's damning.
I said that I thought that if that was me, or a player that does work hard and prides himself on that, I would have come out and done a statement and said, listen, you can criticise my quality, I'm not good enough, etc., but you're not going to criticise my work ethic at the football club.
If you can back that statement up with action, if he can go, really, because we've got the CCTV of what time you arrived at training, if they've got that on the other side, we've got the data, we've got the GPS data from training, you ain't. Like, can you imagine if that was the case? I don't necessarily think you should have played it out, but then again, I think that backs up the statement that I think that he has been forced out of United for PSR reasons, because he is a sellable asset. I think if he'd have gone to Barcelona, or he'd have gone to Napoli, or he'd have gone to Milan, there was a pretty strong chance you'd have seen a new Marcus Rashford, because I think you'd have got him out of the environment that he finds himself in, and I think that would have been enough of a spark, probably, not guaranteed, but I think on the balance of probabilities, you would have seen Rashford come out of this and have a great finish to his career. I think it's a pure toss of a coin now.
According to Fabrizio Romano, 70% of his salary is going to be covered by Villa. Could raise to 90 depending on performances, goals, etc.
I hope we've not spent that.
A buyout option of £40 million. Rio, you've been talking about this.
Imagine 2 years ago that you could get Marcus Rashford for 40 million.
With inflation, that's Ryan Brewster money.
This guy is mad. But
Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't know, but you could never
Tell
have
me I'm
dreamed
wrong.
of getting
Yeah,
Marcus
yeah,
Rashford
wrong.
when he was patting Mbappe on his head after they beat PSG. That
He
time,
was £100 million
after he scored
player.
the penalty to win the game at
He
PSG.
was a £100 million player.
He was patting Mbappe on the head, bro.
Think about it. He won you that
figure out.
Barcelona tie as well a couple of seasons ago.
Mate, like he's
His highlight reel is a highlight
it's a
reel.
mad highlight reel. Marcus Rashford on fire. If you pieced it all together as a
It's
highlight
crazy.
reel, you're going like 120 mil minimum.
That season with him, Greenwood,
Well, look at your fans' reaction to when you lot were rumoured with him.
last
You
season.
lot all
buzzing,
touching your
buzzing.
cocks about it, yeah.
No,
They
last
couldn't
season.
wait.
This season we've been like.
You would take him
last
now,
season-
you lot. There'd be 50% of your fan base going now.
Not
Right then,
now.
Wait. Archie, would you take Rashford? Yeah. Thank you.
Would
yes.
you?
I think his reputation
But
outside of United
wait,
is so much higher.
Tom, would you? He's saying no, so 50-50. That represents the Arsenal fan base right there.
Nah, do you know what it is? It's not that he's not a good player. He can't be a good player. I think we're just scared of what comes with it. You know, the things that we're hearing come out of the training or the clips that you see. Mikel Arteta has worked night and day to make sure that we have a good team spirit. And the worry from most clubs, which I'm, credit to Villa for looking past it, is what comes with Marcus Rashford. We don't know, and because he hasn't done sit-down interviews with like relaxed media, we don't know.
That's the point. I would love to sit with Marcus and actually talk through these type of things. Like, and I know what it's like as a player. Like, do you think I'm just going to let my football do the talking? Yeah. But I think when there's so much keeps coming out about you that your football isn't going to be the thing that can really get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, because it's questioning his integrity, it's questioning his professionalism, questioning his work ethic. Like, sometimes you need to hit these things head on and go, you know what, actually, because I look back on my career and I regret in some instances where I didn't come out and go, whoa. Forget the football right now. I need to address this now. Because we didn't have these platforms.
Yeah.
We got them now. And I think players can utilise these a lot more. If you trust someone, you get on with someone, etc. Use their. I think it's a good opportunity to really put the record straight. But then you got to back it up with the football after, and that's pressure. But I think it's good pressure. I think the best players play better when that pressure's on.
Don't you have to back it up anyway?
Yeah, every day you got to play.
I mean?
Prove yourself.
We get that, but we're talking about. Think about it. What do we see from Marcus? Yes, there's a side of him that's going to say, I don't need to explain myself. But we've got him going in America and everyone's getting onto him for wearing the jackets and stuff
On
like
that,
that.
what's your thoughts on that with him?
I don't-
blinged out coming out because I couldn't give
Yeah,
a
I
flying
don't care
fuck
about that.
what he wears.
Don't care.
I don't care because I was the person that done that type of stuff in terms of wearing outlandish clothes at times or whatever. And I went places. I was happy to go, right? But you've got to read the room. You have to read the room because it's unfortunate, but you should be able to go and do what you want in your spare time. But unfortunately, you play for Man United. You're an icon of the football club.
Even with a weekend off.
You're a people's champ, and you're going somewhere. You could. There's a choice you can make in that situation to go incognito and just slip in there and slip out, or you go the way that Marcus went, where he was always going to be seen.
Can he be incognito?
But that's
You
more
can, yeah.
that's British media though, man. British media is not ready to accept certain behaviours.
He gets treated worse
No.
than Jack Grealish, who's
Yeah,
been on a bender since they
100%.
won the trophy.
Yeah.
I agree.
Ridiculous.
I think Marcus gets treated bad and worse than
Yeah.
others. But at the same time, I don't agree with it, right? But at the same time, he's done things to propel himself into a status that is up there. My man's on the phone to Obama, bruv. He ain't on the phone to like Beryl from like in row 9 in Iceland. He's on the phone to Obama.
But then he's going to think, why should I change what's got me here in the first place?
No. I think it's like you get to that level, you have to accept what comes with it. More attention, more eyeballs, more scrutiny. It's part of it. And I always say this, it's a fucking privilege to have that.
Okay, but why? I get that, but then why should you change? Is my question.
Well, he has
No.
changed, hasn't he? Because it sounds like, because obviously there's no evidence, but it sounds like he's taken his eye off the ball. Sounds like he's not taking training as serious. Amorim's not the first manager that's sort of mentioned this.
Yeah, but I'm not saying change. Go and do that, but expect what comes with it because that's the landscape
I'm talking
we
about
live
what you
in.
wear and stuff.
No, I'm not saying change what you wear.
2 words.
Change your approach.
David Beckham.
Yeah, Beck's got more than this. This is what I'm saying.
But did you ever question Beckham's commitment to training and to play?
He was finishing the bleep test.
I do think, right, that when certain black players wear certain things, it's kind of like, it's a privilege. Like you're reminded that it's a privilege that you are where you are. Whereas other players can get away with things like that. And not here to start like no race war, but it's something that is evident and it happens often. But my argument
Give me
is,
some examples.
if you're looking at the Jack Grealish thing, that's
Raheem Sterling.
That's Raheem Sterling. Compare it to
Tell the people, man.
nothing against the Grealish or whatever.
The
but
way
it's the
Phil
truth.
Foden's mum's house and
Come on,
Marcus
Marcus
Rashford's
Rashford's house. How many times did he got? I remember him getting criticised for making
literally from the same
assets.
fucking area.
Like he bought a row of houses, which is a good thing.
Who?
Marcus Rashford buying a row of houses. And people are like, how could you buy a row of houses? I'm like, well, what do you want him to do with his money?
I know.
What do you want me to do with his money?
I see it. I was victim of that.
Was you?
Yeah, they used to do the caricatures in the paper. Remember that in the tabloids, you used to get a caricature of a person, all blinged out, money, blah, blah, blah. But like, bro, I'm doing what probably all my mates are doing. Are playing football. Everyone
knew Robbie Fowler owned half of Liverpool.
Yeah,
never ever saw any caricatures.
I do think black players definitely get misrepresented in different parts of the media.
And there's no running away from it. But I'm again not saying Marcus Rashford is innocent here and he hasn't done anything. Not saying that at all. Not saying that he's been great at training or whatever. But I'm just saying it's harsher than it is. But I also believe that if you're on your day off, and you want to wear what you want to wear, it's up to you, bro. You haven't stolen the money, right? Well, some fans will say he's stealing the money, but he hasn't stolen the money. He signed the contract.
Have a conversation about Luke Shaw, then, don't we?
Well,
no, I'm saying.
But my thing with that isn't about what he wears. I like we're 13th in the league. Yeah.
Say it again.
We're 13th in the league.
16th when we all.
And then on your day off, I would have said the same to Casemiro. Why are you going to America for? And you're going to get dug out and bring in more. Unfortunately, this is the landscape, but you're going to bring more eyeballs and more negative press to the club. Just go somewhere else.
But that's an example right there. Like, no one said anything. Like, is it because of what he's won in the past?
No, but this is the point. Stop skipping what I'm saying. You're skipping what I'm saying. He's built an iconic image of himself. He's been built up to be this guy. He's done an unbelievable thing for the community and for young people by putting food on the table for these kids. Phenomenal, and should be given his MB, OB, whatever it is he got, right? But with that comes extra pressure. With that comes more scrutiny. With that comes more expectation. And with that, you've got to actually either say, I'm going to deal with that, or actually, I shouldn't do that, and I'm not going to do that because I can't deal with the pressure that comes with it.
Do you remember a couple of years ago when it was the international break and he was injured or something and he went to New York and everyone just said, fair play. It's funny how football...
Yeah, he was playing well then.
Remember,
he was in the team. He was playing. You got to play well.
He was in that mad form, wasn't he?
Yeah, you got to play well. If you play well, all this stuff goes away. That's another thing. I'll be sitting there going, just play what.
It's probably
look at Jack Grealish.
I was going to say that's why Grealish was getting away with it as well.
He wins the treble. People just like, he's on his fucking nut.
Yeah. And that's why Jack Grealish, if you're saying he's the one, he's the equivalent of a Marcus and he's getting treated different, he's at a club that's been successful. It hides a lot of stuff. You don't think when in United when we were playing we had some misdemeanors going on?
No, 100%.
Put to the side because you're winning.
I just think, and this is not Grealish's fault again. I keep saying, but for £100 million, bro, like my man's getting away with a hell of a lot, bro.
I think the scrutiny on that's going to start to come, which is a good segue into the Arsenal City fiasco. I think as this is falling around everyone's ears, I think he'll probably end up copping quite a bit of the scrutiny for this.
He'll start being looked at because he hasn't been looked at before because the team were winning. And by the way, he was playing his part at times in winning those trophies. By the way, he wasn't like he was a massive passenger. He was playing his part. But like you say, was it stacking up to being £100 million player? That's debatable. But
who was the worst signing, him or Anthony?
Anthony, easy.
Real.
Are you winding me up?
Their numbers are very similar.
Doesn't matter about your numbers.
No, you're taking the mick for saying that, by the way. And for
when you won the treble,
for audio listeners, Steve is smiling,
he's giggling,
grinning from ear to ear. And Rio, you're taking the mick as well for saying it's debatable about if he's worth £100 million player or not, because he's not, and it's not debatable. No, Rio, stop, man.
No, I'm not saying he's 100% right here. Yeah? I'm just saying, if you've been a player in that team, you've played a lot of games in that season, and No one can say.
I don't care.
Wait. No one can say you ain't done your job. You've won the treble. Shut up, everyone.
Nah.
If I'm Jack Grealish sitting here now and people are trying to question my importance in a treble-winning season, and I've played a lot of games, I might not have scored a lot of goals or assisted as what 100 million should amount to. I've won the treble. Shut your mouth now.
Even Alvarez, who is probably worth £100 million player, wasn't sold for £100 million. Bro, Jack Grealish has not been performing at 100 million. It's not been successful. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if I'm Grealish sitting here and you're telling me that, I'd say shut up.
Yeah,
now.
of course he's going to say, because he's going to slap me with all the money that he has. But at the end of the day,
I wouldn't slap you with £1. I'd slap you with my trophies and medals. That's what you get around your head.
No, but at the end of the day, I'll still say it's still not worth it though. Like, and you can see, because
Based
if you're
on what?
worth it, based on what his performance is, Rio.
No, but
the guy's been
Did he go a
diabolical.
calendar year without scoring?
I won a treble though, bro.
Bro,
My team won a treble that I was playing
a
in.
calendar year without scoring.
Yeah,
So
but
then
I won
I'm
a treble.
questioning why you managed to go a
Come
calendar year
on,
without scoring
Rio,
in a team that could win a treble.
Because what I was doing, I was drawing players to me 2 and 3 up sometimes, and other people were getting the space.
Real,
Haaland
man.
was getting a lot of space when I'm on the ball.
Welcome back to Jack Grealish's PR show.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, this is what I would say if I was Grealish, to defend
Mate.
myself. And I think it's not a bad argument. I've got the treble in my back pocket. 3 of them are making noises. They're hitting each other.
Rio, he's been there for 4 years.
No, I'm just saying.
And it's not.
I'm just saying, he was part of the player. There's been a lot of players that got statues at that club that couldn't deliver the Champions League. He did. He was part of it.
Bro, don't disrespect any of those players that actually put City on the map.
I ain't disrespecting.
You
No,
are,
I'm just
because-
saying.
By the way,
Because-
them statues are dog shit.
I'm just saying I'm not saying anyone's being disrespected. They're all great players, but they did not deliver the Champions League.
But Grealish did not deliver the Champions League. He played in the
His
team that
team-
won the Champions League. There's a difference.
The key word being he played.
Yeah, he played. But there's a lot of players that play in certain teams, but it doesn't mean they, you know what I mean? Blomqvist can sit
City's
here and
David
go,
May.
I want a treble. Blomqvist. Yeah. But end
How
of the
many
day,
games did Blomqvist play in that year?
Enough.
Probably about 20. Giggs was out for a long time.
Grealish played 36.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a lot of games.
Rio.
Just so you know. Hell of a lot of games.
So go on, and why is it all crumbled for Pep? Why has he started going direct? Why have they been so bad this year? And why is the
think-
Premier League so bad this year?
I think
and why have they still
I
not
think
won?
Premier League,
City-
what are you talking about? Premier League's good.
I think City is.
No, it's not.
I think City. I think they've always been looked at, and you know what, they get things right recruitment wise. They've got things more right than wrong over the years, yeah. And they've always been a team and a club that seemed to prepare for the eventual day that Fernandinho retires. Rodri's in the background coming in, Silva's going. They've got Foden or Gundogan sitting or Bernardo Silva. Do you know what I mean?
wing-backs.
Do you know what I mean? The fullbacks, they didn't get the fullbacks right loads of times, but Diaz is coming in because company's going. Like they always seem to have them big positions covered. Aguero's going, right, we're going to make a beeline for Haaland. Like, whereas I don't think and also pace has come out of the team. Sterling, Sane, Mahrez. Pace and output numbers come out of the team. And you look at the team now and you're going like, there's players that are coming in that ain't of that level and ain't producing the same right now at this moment in time. That could change if those players start developing, but I don't think their prep has been as good as we've seen.
It's true. But if you look at, for example, Calvin Phillips, that didn't really pop off either. Like, you could see Alvarez selling him, not replacing him. It's not what we see from City regularly. And I think maybe personal problems as well.
Too over-reliant on route one to Haaland.
Yeah. I think so.
He's the focal point rather than a weapon now. Maybe. Because the City used to be able to hurt you with a three-pronged attack. And then obviously what came in between that with the midfield. Whereas it seems like they've just got one big weapon now in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
And they don't really have those extra tools that are going to hurt you. Is Foden ever going to score like a 25, 30 goal season? Don't feel like it. Don't feel like it's his game. We know Jack Grealish ain't going to do that, not in a career. So, like, where's all those? Like, the one thing that you had with, like, I'm going to shut Aguero down. Okay, what are you going to do about David Silva? Okay, we'll shut Aguero and we'll shut David Silva down. Cool. Who's going to deal with De Bruyne?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So then you start piecing off these, and then before you know it, there's another one.
Sterling.
Yeah.
Sane.
Whereas
they have
now,
threats from everywhere.
you shut Haaland down and go, go on then.
But
And they also don't defend very well either no more.
And then they're not physically. They used to be able to be phically. They could match you.
But they're big now, but they're not athletic as they used to be.
They can't get around you because they're getting overrun at times. Like they look, I don't know. They just don't look like they've got the authority. And I said this on TNT the other day. It takes you a long time to build an aura and get an aura. They got an aura. 4 years winning, constant machine. Bro, it's gone quick. It's gone quick.
Yeah.
Teams are now going, so we can go toe-to-toe with these. Like, it's that, see how quick it just falls down and goes away. But again, that's what I said before on previous shows. To maintain that aura is graft. It's hard. It takes the recruitment team being able to churn out the good ones all the time.
Putting pressure on you as well.
Bringing them in, them joining that environment, that culture, they're still there. The ones that are there still delivering year after year after year. Having the right type of churn from youth and experience out and young ones coming in. Just blending that. All them things have to go together for that to keep happening. It's near impossible.
Because if you look, Kyle Walker's gone. Like, that's a big personality.
Yeah.
Like,
we've got Rico Lewis who can play there though, but is he?
He still needs time as well. You know, that's the thing. But saying that, I think we need you should be congratulating us the way we performed yesterday.
Shut up, Joel.
5-1 win against Man City. I know you didn't see that coming, bro.
Devastating win.
I know you didn't see that coming.
I thought you'd beat them.
Did you?
I didn't.
Have you seen them this year?
They've been poor, but I thought they'd get a drop.
Yeah, I thought
they'd turn the corner a little bit.
Real United beat them, and we're barely better than Ipswich.
No, but it's
ages
different
ago.
though, isn't it? It's like a derby. It's different.
Everyone's
for you guys.
beat them. Everyone's got that sticker on their chest, Joel, this year, apart from Salford. I mean, everyone's gone and managed to smack City about this year. Everybody. Yeah. It's embarrassing. Like, it was hilarious.
Even I went and watched Bruges the other day. Bruges should have been 3-up in the first half.
I mean,
on breaks, just counter-attacks, boom.
I've waited the
Paris Saint-Germain are writing love letters to him.
I've waited the whole
Dipped it in them
weekend.
that much.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Paris Saint-Germain, they were on them. They overran them. Physically, just overran them. Youth.
I've waited all night, and you think you're going to play down this win? No.
No, exactly what I'm going to do.
No. Do you know
So
why?
what
No, do you know
Everyone's,
why? Do you
you're
know
not
why?
special. Everyone's had a piece.
It doesn't matter.
You're back of the queue with Bonnie Blue, mate. No one cares.
So what are you saying? This is like a defining moment.
It was important. It was important to beat them, because if we had lost or drawn, then all of a sudden you're 8 points behind Liverpool with a game in hand, and you know.
What are you? If they win their game in hand, you're 9, isn't it? It's 9.
Yeah, if they win the game in hand, it's 9. But
Are you in a title race?
It's not. Of course we are.
So Nottingham Forest in the title
No,
race.
of course we are. But we know
Nottingham Forest in the title race.
No, they're not. You know,
They're 3 points off you.
Well, yeah, they won. Great game this weekend.
They're
Week
3
before,
points. So
they're
3
getting
points is
slapped
the difference.
by Bournemouth, 5-0. I ain't forgotten. But what I'm saying is, with us, you can feel that there's a serious title charge. Like
Really?
yeah, you can.
Really?
14 unbeaten, to be fair, is good.
Come on.
And
you got to remember, we don't have a number 9. You know, our star boy is out.
Listen,
right?
forget
And
about the number 9
No, it's
thing.
not about forget. It's the truth, though, because if you see the opportunity, did you see what Havertz's chance?
Yeah.
You look at that.
But it's a bad chance. But he assisted the first
and
goal.
he did, and it's great. Well done. But
you lot are all getting caught up in this. We don't have a number 9 thing.
We don't.
The not having a number 9 facilitates the way you dominate games.
Yeah, exactly.
If you put a number 9 in, you no longer don't have the possession anymore that you have.
Do you know why I disagree? It's either we don't have a number 9, or we don't have a pure finisher, like an attacking finisher. Because the reality is, if you miss a chance like that in another game, you're not going to get another opportunity. When you get to the latter stages of the Champions League, which you guys don't know about currently at the moment, you're going to need.
Don't let me get Nottingham Forest in there and smack you about.
You're going to need clinical players. You're not going to get a lot of opportunities, and we've been squandering so many chances. If you look at Havertz's chances per game, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but the reason that you create chances is because you overload in certain areas by not having someone leading the line.
But there's no point of doing that when we're squandering chances up top.
So you take that false 9 out of the team and put a striker in like a Haaland or a Haaland that's just going to stand there finger in their ass and not get involved in holding the possession and overloading, and now you don't get the chances, and you go, we're still not actually scoring any goals.
No, Steve, I disagree, because if you get the right player in, if you get the Ollie Watkins in, or someone that can get involved with play, then it's a different story.
Ollie Watkins doesn't get involved.
He's not going to be involved.
He runs in behind, that's it.
He runs in behind, but he can play a little bit.
No, it's not his game.
Come on,
It ain't his game.
You look. It doesn't matter what you say. I'm not taking advice from people
You're
who are
looking at
chilling 30.
You're looking at the
Ollie
effect
Watkins-
and not the cause.
Ollie Watkins' strength is not to come and get involved in football outside the penalty box, really. He might come in and go short.
Joel, let me have a look.
But
I want to see how many touches does Havertz get on the ball.
You look, but
But
it doesn't matter what you say, though. We are lacking a clinical finisher. We are.
No, you are. But what Steve's saying, it could be right as well. Like, because you're so ball dominant in a lot of the games, because you're overloading in different areas. Because Havertz ain't just standing up there like a Haaland and saying, right, I'm going to pin the two centre-halves. He's going out and creating a 3v2 or 3v1 sometimes in wide areas.
And then the
he's
problem
he's
is,
getting
and then the problem
37
is-
touches in a game.
and the problem
Haaland
is,
gets 9.
and what
Haaland.
Yeah.
But
Let's have a look at
take
Watkins.
Haaland- I was going to say,
Take
take
Man
Haaland
United.
and
Any
Haaland
Man
out of
United
this.
stats other than
That is
Bruno's, take him
ridiculous.
out of it.
That's not a great
Ollie Watkins
example.
had 12 touches the other day.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Who they
different.
play?
Wolves.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
lost though, innit?
No, but
Right,
this
but
is-
he had
bad day in the
28,
office.
37
Bad
touches
day-
against
bad day in
City,
the
and he had
office.
12 against Wolves.
that's the thing.
Bad day in the office.
He ain't going to get involved in you.
Watkins ain't there to. You
can
can't
say-
buy Watkins and say, "Oh, let's come in and play against the team's strengths and away from what we're doing."
It doesn't matter.
unless
what
you're going
you
to
say.
change everything.
Okay, but you're
Change
saying
everything,
that.
though.
You're saying that as if having an Ollie Watkins won't benefit us.
No, I think there'll be some benefits, but there's also going to be some downside to that as well. From
And I'll
team
ta-
dominance.
There's a
you know
yin
what,
and a
I'll
yang to
I'll
this.
I'll take the goals, because if you look at that, forget Martinelli yesterday. If you're looking across the season, we're suffering in areas,
But
man.
it could be like a Harry Kane at Spurs. You get some number 9 and he comes and scores all the goals, but the team end up actually taking maybe a 5% decrease, which means actually you're further away from getting a trophy maybe.
So you're telling me if we get a number 9 right about now, we could be further away from.
No, I'm not saying I don't know, but none of us know. But I'm
What
saying
we're
it's
saying
something
is
to consider.
the way Arsenal play is predicated on having a false 9. And the reason that you dominate the ball in the manner that you do is because you have a false 9 that doesn't play up against or run in behind. You lot are looking at the lack of goals and going, if we fix that, it gets us over the line to win the league.
It might hinder you.
It doesn't necessarily, because if you take Havertz out of the team, that's an extra player that's getting involved in playmaking out of the team. You might not have anywhere near as much as final third entries.
So it's clear, but you say that. I've seen us spam balls into the box, into Milan being one of the games.
He might facilitate you get into that place to play those, though.
It doesn't always. That's the thing, Steve. It's easy to say.
We won't know until you buy a 9.
Nah, exactly. We need a 9. We
Just
need a
go
9.
buy a 9 to settle
We
this
need a 9.
argument for us.
And
Mikel.
don't try to take away the win from me, by the way.
No, one of the best things I think come out of the game yesterday was Myles Lewis-Skelly. It was just nice to see, like a bit of needle in the game, like celebrations and needle. I saw like Gary Neville saying, "Oh, it's disrespectful." What I don't know what he done or what Gabriel doing in front of Haaland's face and stuff like that. Bro, some of the biggest, most iconic moments in Premier League history aren't about football. Roy Keane in the tunnel with Vieira.
Martin Keown
with
you need that
Ruben
flavour.
Amorim.
You do need that.
Adebayor running.
You slapping the ref.
Yeah, slap Mr. Bennett quickly. Adebayor running the length of the pitch at City in front of the Arsenal fans. Like, these things are nothing to do with kicking a football, but they're part of what. And you're hearing people say, "Oh, you shouldn't do that." And come on, man.
what makes-
Like Gary Neville, one of his biggest moments was doing that with his shirt, the badge, to Liverpool fans after my goal. Like one of the biggest moments in his career, iconic visually when you look at it.
He did run 70 metres to do it.
Yeah, but this is part of the emotion of football. Why you tune in? It's the emotion.
Yeah, don't
it's
take that
the,
out again.
The soap opera vibes.
Don't take that
But
out.
for an 18-year-old to do that celebration after he said, "Who the fuck are you?" By the way, a few months ago, not to anybody, not to like a mediocre player, to the biggest number 9 in the league, and go, that was sick for me.
And on top of that,
Iconic.
it's his play the whole game.
Yeah, he's
Not
bad.
scared, fearless. We all know Thomas Tuchel he's got to do the right thing next month.
I think you got a left back at Newcastle will be arguing against that.
but
Lewis
you
Hall.
got competition though,
Yeah, it's
which is good. And you look at that, and you look at Winieri coming on. What a goal!
But it goes back again. Why did Arteta not play him when Odegaard was? Because you might now be closer to Liverpool if he was playing when Odegaard was out injured.
I don't
That's
know
a
why
mistake
he didn't.
from Arteta, that.
I think it was as well, and I think
Doesn't matter, they're not winning the league.
all the signs were there. You get rid of Vieira, you get rid of Emile Smith-Rowe. You're saying he's your understudy, but you're still not starting him. You get in Raheem Sterling, he barely gets game time. There's a lot of unanswered questions.
Calafiori's a mad signing. Now you've got Lewis-Skelly in it.
Yeah.
But he could be understudy for centre half maybe. But 40 mil.
I think it's not bad.
He's not even. He can't even see the level of Gabriel and Saliba.
Who? Calafiori.
No. Not that level.
He's not even in a book.
Better with the ball, but he's not
Not defensive.
defensively. But if you know what, Lewis-Skelly, you can't account for that because that's one they just didn't consider.
I think-
he was never on the
yeah.
radar to come and play. Probably playing 19, 20, you're getting a
What
team.
was going? Why wasn't Ahmad not getting a look in at all under Ten Hag?
Because it was political, mate. When you've got a £90 million
he's
pound
spent
player,
85 mil in that position. mate.
you've
He's
got
not
to
playing.
play my man, and he's got to play well. When
Got
you
to justify that.
when you go back to
What a balls.
going back to Skelly really
We
quickly.
just leave Man United out of this. Is going to depress me. I was feeling all right over it. Don't mention them, man.
Going back to Skelly.
Is he the worst ever Premier League signing?
What's wrong with these boys?
Is he the worst ever?
Is he the worst ever? Name me 3 worse than him.
Yeah,
Pepe. Pepe's up there. But his output's better than...
Pepe.
Pepe was 8 mil,
say-
bro. What are you talking about?
No, what are you talking about?
Pepe.
What, Arsenal Pepe?
Yeah.
I think Anthony's
What?
No, I didn't say I'm just throwing a name out there.
No way. You guys have had a few.
Could he be the worst Premier League signing ever?
Who,
I think
Anthony?
he's in the conversation.
He's
right?
up there. He's up there.
Him? Who's the guy?
Makes me laugh that people used to say, "Oh, Pogba, worst. What a flop! Oh, give me a flop like that all day, mate."
Who's that player that you lot?
Is he going anywhere today? By the way,
I don't know. You'd like to think he would, innit? Surely he's got to go somewhere.
would you take him at United?
Pogba.
Yeah. Back.
Pogba.
It's like a
Pogba.
It's like a tennis match. He's been back and forward that much.
I'd go come in and train with us and let me see what you got.
You got to make the decision
I'd do that.
by tea time today to sign
I would have
him.
done that already. I'd have said, come in, get fit, but I'm also having a little look.
So what's all these memes that he was putting up? Him and Ahmad. And what was that about?
We have no idea, do we?
Yeah.
Stormzy could be doing a little verse now.
Nah, I don't think.
I mean,
Stormzy's
for the
doing that.
comeback.
Oh, what a video! What a moment! What a cult! We're talking about some of the moments
Cultural
in the
moment.
league. Oh
Yeah,
my
sick.
God! Pogba signing for United.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was 9 years ago.
I know, man.
Crazy.
Stormzy laid it down that day.
Crazy, mad. But yeah, going back to Skelly, like I was saying, I think
I'll
that just
derail
opens
it.
a
I'll keep
door.
derailing. Don't worry about that. I'll think of something else.
That opens a door for Zinchenko to leave, in my opinion.
What do you want him out?
No, I didn't say that.
Do you remember when they signed Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus? And
to
I was
win the
like,
league.
what was the point in all of that?
You hammered that. And he was going, I was actually saying they've come from a good winning environment. Maybe they're going to be able to feed that
You
into
don't
the
get
Arsenal
above a
one.
team by buying their rejects.
No, but what you don't understand is that sometimes when you're making steps, you need to like
Is Gabriel
step a
Jesus
few
good enough?
levels. Yeah, he is. You saw he was.
What? You were never saying that before.
For 20 minutes, you've just been telling me you need a striker.
Yeah, he's injured, isn't it?
No, you've been saying it for months.
So yeah, no, but
Is Zinchenko good enough?
you need like stepping stones in it to get to where you want to get to.
£100 million
And I
wasted.
reckon
No further questions,
They were
Ron.
one of them. They were one of them. Simple as.
Just say Steve was right again.com.
Ola Reina as well, by the way, he's another one that's bringing that vibe.
What
That
about?
new, we don't care what we're saying. You know, the players that are out there. You guys were a lot more reserved.
No, we didn't have these platforms. No, these were new platforms that no one was really used to.
He was getting shit just for having a Twitter.
Yeah, just for having a Twitter page where no one saw me doing no videos. I was getting in trouble. Do you know what I mean? So like the manager going, "What's this Twitter twat? Oh, what's that?" Player Gary Neville was like going, "What are you doing? What the fuck are you on there for?" And I was like, "Bro, one day you man will start following me. You'll know what this is about when you guys retire. By the time then you'll be on this. Now they're all over it, but it's." We always look at the American sports stars over the years. They're so much more kind of accustomed to giving more of themselves, being more open. Also, the broadcasters get more access. They're more willing to give more access because they know the value of the media.
They're in the changing room. How would you have reacted to that?
Yeah, I could imagine it.
Cock and balls out, microphone in your face.
People walking about.
Talk to me about
Exactly.
NFL style.
I don't know what happens. I always think now, what's going on when they're going shower? Because
they don't
most
care,
of the
bro.
players.
Real,
They
they're
don't
blooding it up
care.
and coming walking back.
No,
They
That's
don't
what they're doing.
care.
A lot of players. Also, there must be a rule, like a golden rule. You can't shoot below the waist or whatever.
do, though.
Or
They
shoot
don't
and walk into the toilet or walk into the showers. Because, bro, a lot of players, the towel's over your shoulder
Yeah,
and you're
they
walking. Everything's swinging about.
Yeah, bro, it's a different culture, man.
And you've got men and women in there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's normal.
Loads of them as well. It's not just like one that's jibbed in. It's like a whole crew of them. It's like pitch side at Old Trafford before a game, isn't it? Like loads of them.
It's mad.
You was pitch side, didn't it, this weekend?
Yeah, I ran into Andy Cole. He looks dead happy. And I'm dead happy that he's happy because I love Andy Cole.
That's good.
That's good. Saying that, next time I see you and you, there's going to be Super Bowl winners. Who do you reckon? That's why I
you
got the
supporting
little
Eagles?
jacket.
Are you supporting the Philadelphia Eagles? Or you just got a freebie?
I think it's definitely a freebie, but I think I'm just going for the Eagles because I think if you
For the
support,
listeners, he's got a Philadelphia Eagles bomber jacket on. By the way.
yeah, I think if you support the Chiefs, you kind of feel like you're supporting Man City. Like you just
What?
like it's like you're just on the winning train, innit?
No.
It's the truth, man. Like
No, but they've not bought it.
no, but I know, but you still feel like you're just jumping on the bandwagon of the winning team. Do you see what I mean?
I know what
So-
you mean, but
But it's a great
They
achievement.
got
the
Mahomes.
way that the culture around the Super Bowl is like tickets are like 10 bag. How many real fans are you getting in there? Do you think?
I don't know. You know,
It just feels like a pure corporate
Yeah,
grab,
there's
doesn't it?
much more corporate there.
they
But
don't play that.
but it's an event there though.
Yeah, it's
The
a
Super
proper
Bowl,
event.
I think.
You been to one?
Yeah, and I've been talking to some of the people that were obviously at FIFA, at UEFA. I think that our big moments like the World Cup or the Euros, even the Champions League final, there's more that can be done. They're like 4 or 5 day events for the Super Bowl.
You wouldn't want a concert at half time, though, would you?
No, but
you never know, though, man.
it becomes a different spectacle.
Put it
But
this
before
way.
the game, just do
I'm
it.
going
You-
tomorrow,
you
and
know
I'm
in
going
the
for
80s
6 days straight.
You know, in the 80s, it was a 10-minute half time.
Yeah.
And people booted off when they was like, well, let's make it 15 so people can go for a piss. And they were like, what? What are you talking about?
Everyone, there'll always be uproar, but everyone get used to it. You know what I mean? I just think more from a player's perspective. I'm used to 15 minutes and it takes it to 20 or 25. I ain't happy because I
You're
need
getting
to have a
cold.
full warm up. Like, it's mad. But it is. But I mean more outside of the game. Like, maybe you can go on like in a big, like, I don't know, like Earl's Court type place, full up with all memorabilia,
Like an expo.
experiences. Yeah, like loads of experiences around and nostalgia and memory.
Tournaments
so much
do
stuff.
that, though, don't they? We get it. We don't really get it for like Champions League or FA Cup, but you get it for like Euros and World Cup.
Yeah, you get a fan park.
Yeah.
It's not the same. I'm talking about you get proper like.
The next World Cup's
stuff
going to be a
going
bit iffy, though, isn't it? Because it's literally spread across an entire continent.
That's gonna be.
yeah.
Are we doing that, by the way?
I don't know. We might be on the road, man.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How do you can be on the road? You don't have to fly.
Yeah, but
Like, it's
on the road,
like
off the road type thing.
5,000 mile between nearest venues. It's insane.
Or we just go LA and just have it off.
Yeah, well, I put forward the proposal of Cancun and just stay there. And a Team Hawaiian shirt uniform.
I wouldn't mind just dipping into LA though, every night, and Miami a little bit. That and them three there.
Crazy.
Just
I mean-
the tropical triangle.
Yeah, I think that'd be. I don't think we'll have many shying away from that and like, oh, but not well. I've got to stay back. Everyone will be on that trip, won't they?
That's gonna be crazy.
It is going to be a sick World Cup. America can put
Yeah.
a tournament on. I think it'll be outrageous.
They'll show us how to put the experience on. Do you know what I mean? That's
Saying
the
that,
difference.
I reckon the Eagles will win. They're gonna
Do
stop
you?
the free
You didn't say that before. You've changed your mind.
I want them to win. But I don't see, you're right, I did say that, I'm flip-flopping. I don't see them beating the Chiefs, but I reckon.
I want Mahomes to just go and dominate and become the best ever.
Someone came out the other day and said he's the best quarterback ever already. Disrespect.
Do you reckon? I think he's got. There's an argument. He's different. He's more. We're not going to talk about
Tom Brady's still alive, bro.
No,
Come on.
Brady's sick, yeah. But what this guy's done in a short space of time is like we ain't seen this. It's crazy, crazy what he's doing. And the way he's doing it, some mad throws. The way he throws the ball out here
Yeah.
and. Anyway,
Saquon Barkley.
I'm a connoisseur of the game. NFL.
All right. Guys, thank you very much for joining. The boys are back in town. Episode is out now across the
Let
board.
us know in the comments, by the way. Do you like the band being back together? Do you like this?
And
or
Rio's
what?
taking a bit, you know. 'Cause Rio don't care, you know. Rio just does what he wants, and then he goes, "What do you want? What do you want?
What do you think, guys?
What do you want?" And he just does what he wants.
Just wants to know. I'm not going to change anything. Just want to know what you think.
Yeah.
Oh, watch your space.
Oh man. Anyway, thank you for watching. It's actually been really nice sitting here.
It's the first time in a
Beating
few
Man
weeks
City
you've not
5-1.
worn black, all black.
Got all black underneath.
Normally you wear all black last few weeks.
But anyway, please make sure you watch the videos that we got on the channel. Loads of interviews.
Listen
Rio
as well.
reacts. Really good stuff happening. Different socials. We got the competitions, by the way, on the website. The links in the description. Joel, Rio, Ste. We will be back soon. Peace.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of Rio Presents. Hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll be here every Monday throughout the season, so tell your mates and all get involved, man. If you've got a point you think we should be discussing or want to put us on the spot with a question you want answering, get in touch using the fans first at rioferdinandpresents.com email address or use hashtag RFP on social. Make sure you leave us a review and follow this Rio Ferdinand Presents feed and you'll never miss an episode. See ya on the next one.